Hello and welcome to this build. This is actually kind of inspired from a trip I went on recently. I went to a university interview at Lincoln, the University of Lincoln. I got an offer, by the way, so yeah, I'm really happy about that because that's actually where I want to go. So I was like, yeah, I was so happy. But we walked around the town a bit and there were some really crooked old houses, and there's like the canal, there's lots of like water in Lincoln, like little canals and like little rivers like running through. So yeah, there was a house that I saw, or well, it wasn't really a house, I think it was a pub actually, but there was like a building. It was like straddled over two sides of like a river or a little canal. It just looked really cool, and it kind of gave me an idea to do this kind of house. But at the same time, I didn't want to just do an old-fashioned house. I wanted to do a vampire house. That's why it's built in the vampire world. But I wanted to make it look really old and like decrepit. Is that the right word? You know, like falling down and like old on the front. So that's what it looks like on the front. And then on the back, I wanted it to look renovated. So from on the front, it looks like, oh, no one actually lives there. But then if you went around the back, you'd realise that people actually must live there because it's been renovated, because it's like got modern windows or something. So that's what I was thinking. I don't know, it'd be quite a cool story, I think, for some vampires who want to be inconspicuous. Like maybe some kids like stumble upon their house one time thinking that no one lives there because that's what it looks like, and then maybe that's how they lure people in, or yeah, you know, I don't know. I just thought it'd make for a good build and like a good story or whatever. So yeah, it's very crooked, lots of little roofs and things. I think this is what made the build, all the little roofs and the little jutting out bits of the walls. So yeah, I initially went underground and went into the basement. I put the river underneath, like in the basement, so it's actually just a pool, but I kind of tried to make it look like a river. You'll see me make it look a bit more natural by using rocks and things. But yeah, kind of want it to look like those windows I put on either side of the like river. I say with like my hands up doing quotation marks. I wanted those windows to look kind of like drains. I don't know if it looks like that or not, but it kind of worked for me, so there we go. Yeah, it's kind of got like a weird little church tower spire thing going on the right hand side. I don't know, I just really wanted it to be very unique and weird, so I just went with it. I don't know what my mind was thinking, but yeah, I skipped ahead a bit while I was figuring out the wallpaper. Didn't know how I wanted it. I kind of mixed up two different brick styles, so there's like the grey stones and then red bricks, and then there's obviously like the black and white wallpaper with the Tudor style stuff on it. Got a little balcony there. I thought this looked really cool, having a staircase going up there, because I don't know, it'd be quite scary going up those stairs. It'd feel like you'd almost fall down that pit. Yeah, I just wanted everything to look like it could collapse at any moment. Kind of looks a little bit Harry Potter-ish to me. I kind of just took inspiration from all those kinds of movies and places, but yeah, like I said, it was mostly from when I went to Lincoln. So if you don't know, I've applied to do graphic design at Lincoln, and I am so happy that I got in. I don't know whether it's conditional or unconditional offer yet, because I have to wait until they put it on my UCAS and then I'll see. But I am so happy. It's currently really windy outside. I don't know if you'll hear it in the background. We've had like 80-mile-per-hour winds here in Yorkshire. I don't know if the rest of England has, but we have. It's insane. Like, I can see the phone lines struggling. They look like they're gonna snap or something. It's really bad. Like, my house is creaking. So I hope you can't hear that. Shouldn't be able to, but yeah. It took me a while figuring out windows as well. Just because it's difficult when some of the windows are like 3 squares long and then some of them are 2 squares long, and I want to use 2 square ones in the 3 square, you know what I mean? Like, they're just the sizes like didn't cooperate with me. I eventually kind of stick to those box windows at that side. But yeah, I mostly use old-fashioned ones on the front and around the sides, and then just on the back I've got all these modern ones. So you can see like there's loads of jutting out areas as well on the front. I kind of keep the back more flat, just because it's more modern to have like a flat wall with big windows. So as you can see, like it's really flat. And I thought it looked really cool having the house like leaning over, you know where the front door is? The front door is like to the near those stairs, and the building like leans over in tiers. It looks kind of like upside down steps, because you see that a lot with like old Tudor style houses. Yeah, that was another thing that inspired me from Lincoln. There was a lot of old buildings that were renovated, so there were a lot of these Tudor style houses, but then there were also some modern ones, and then some that were just like a mix of the two, so it's really cool. Yeah, here I'm just adding all the little details that make it look all old and crumbly and like it's going to collapse on you at any moment and just float away into the river. Also, I was inspired a little bit by a series of unfortunate events. I don't know, all these things kind of came to mind while I was making it. If you've seen the movie, I'm not talking about a TV series because I haven't seen that yet, but when they go to Aunt Mary, I can't remember what her name is. Anyway, they go to live with their auntie, and she lives on this house that's just like balancing it on a cliff, and then it like ends up tumbling into like the sea, because the cliff edge is like leading onto some water, and the house is like hanging over the water, so that kind of looks a bit like that as well. So yeah, and then I just put all these rocks around just to make it look a little bit more crumbly. I mean, obviously this is kind of man-made. It looks like some kind of river management, like water management, sewer works or something, you know what I mean? It's kind of like man-made, but it's grown into the landscape, if you know what I mean. I don't know. I just tried to make it look realistic, and I think it kind of worked. So yeah, put some plants down here because I wanted it to look a little bit overgrown and unkept, because no one could really get down here. I decided not to put any stairs down here or a door that lets you go to the outside, so your Sims won't be able to swim in the pool because they won't be able to access it. But not everywhere can have a pool, and also the people who live here are probably vampires, because I built this in the vampire world. So, and I don't know if vampires like swimming or not. It's up to you and how you like to play with vampires. I don't know. But yeah, just adding more details. Yeah, I would like to know if you have any more suggestions for builds and things. I've been working on a few different things lately. I mean, I've done Princess Bubblegum's castle from Adventure Time, so I like doing kind of fantasy stuff like that, as well as doing my own kind of things from my imagination like this. But yeah, I would like to try out anything from like movies or books, or I mean, unless I don't know what it is, like if it's a book that I haven't read or something, then I probably won't end up doing it. Sorry about that. But yeah, and now I'm just going around putting terrain tool, making it look like the building's been there a long time, making things look worn and stuff like that. Yeah, all the pillars and stuff, they're all the little extra details that just make it look more realistic. Do a little bit of landscaping, I think I put a tree in. But we're nearly at the end of the video, so I hope that you liked it, and thanks for watching.